Welcome back, everyone, to your favorite podcast for another deep dive.
Yeah.
We've talked about manifesting before,
We have.
but this time it's all about love and maybe someone special.
Ooh, getting specific.
Right. You've given us a ton of excerpts,
Yeah.
most of them from Neville Goddard, all about how to use the law of assumption to manifest love. So
Let's do it.
let's dive right in and see what we can learn.
You know, one thing I find really fascinating about all this material is that it's really not about,
Yeah.
just wishing or hoping for love,
Mhm.
especially with a specific person. It's about, aligning your inner world
Oh, yeah.
with that relationship you want.
So we're talking more than just daydreaming about our dream date.
Absolutely. Neville Goddard talks a lot about how our assumptions create our reality.
Okay.
You don't attract what you want, you attract what you believe deep down.
So, if you believe you're worthy of love and that this person is drawn to you, you're more likely to actually experience that.
Yeah.
That seems like a big mental leap.
It is a big leap, and that's why really understanding your self-concept is so important.
Okay.
And actually, all these sources emphasize this over and over again.
Okay.
It's that your self-concept, meaning your beliefs about yourself,
Right.
shape your assumptions about, really everything,
Yeah.
especially love and relationships.
All right. So let's break this down. What does self-concept actually mean?
Yeah.
And how does it play into manifesting love?
So think of it this way. If you have a negative self-concept,
Okay.
if you believe you're not good enough or that you always attract the wrong people, you're basically broadcasting those beliefs outward.
Out to the universe?
Yeah, and the universe picks up on that.
So it's like a radio transmitter, sending out a fuzzy signal.
Yeah.
So even if we're trying to manifest love with a specific person, if our self-concept is all shaky,
Yeah.
we're not going to get a clear connection.
You're not going to get the best reception.
Got it.
One of the sources even had this analogy. Imagine you're a magnet. And, if you're covered in rust and negativity, you're not going to attract shiny, positive things, right? You have to clean yourself up first, build that strong magnetic field.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
So before we even get into the techniques for manifesting a specific person,
Right.
the sources are saying we need to lay the foundation of self-love.
That's the foundation.
Okay, so how do we actually do that?
Yeah.
It's easy to say love yourself,
Right.
but how do we actually shift those deep-seated beliefs?
Yeah, they talk about things like affirmations,
Okay.
which are, positive statements that you repeat to yourself to reprogram your mind.
Like I am worthy of love. I am magnetic to my soulmate.
Exactly.
Yeah, like rewiring those neural pathways in our brains
Yeah.
to support those positive beliefs.
Yeah.
It's really fascinating how our thoughts can literally shape our reality.
It is.
And then there's this idea of embodying the version of you that's already in love.
Yes.
So acting as if you're already experiencing the love you desire,
Yeah.
walking with confidence,
Yeah.
treating yourself with kindness, just radiating joy.
You got it.
I love that.
It's like sending a signal to the universe,
Mm-hmm.
but also reinforcing that belief within yourself,
Right. Yeah. But I know a lot of people are probably thinking, okay, that's great for self-love in general,
Yeah.
but what about attracting a specific person?
Right.
That's where it gets really interesting.
It does get interesting.
And these excerpts really dive into some interesting methods for manifesting love with a specific person,
They do.
all based on this idea of shifting your assumptions to shift your reality. One that comes up a lot is living in the end.
Yeah.
Ooh, living in the end.
Living in the end.
That always makes me think of time travel or something.
Very
How do they
sus-
explain it?
Yeah, it's less about time travel
Okay.
and more about mental time travel.
Okay.
It's about assuming your desire is already fulfilled,
Okay.
not just hoping or wishing for it,
Right.
but truly feeling and experiencing it as if it's already happening.
Okay, so it's more than just positive thinking.
It is.
It's about embodying the feeling of being in that desired relationship right now.
Yeah.
But how can someone truly convince themselves that they're already living that reality?
It does take a shift.
Yeah.
One of the sources tells this great story about a woman named Sarah who wanted to rekindle things with her ex.
Okay.
She started visualizing a scene where he was proposing to her,
Okay.
feeling all the joy and love of that moment, really immersing herself in it.
So she wasn't just picturing it. She was engaging all her senses, feeling the emotions as if it were happening.
Totally.
Wow.
And guess what? They did get back together.
Oh, wow.
It speaks to the power of, assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled.
So living in the end is about stepping into that reality mentally and emotionally, even if it doesn't match your current circumstances.
Yeah.
But it's not just passively waiting. Right.
Right.
There are other techniques that they talk about, too.
Yes, living in the end is powerful.
Okay.
But it can be misinterpreted as just being passive. It's not about sitting back and waiting. It's about actively aligning your inner world with your desire.
Yeah.
And they also talk about things like visualization.
Okay.
But again, it's more than just daydreaming.
Right.
Like really creating a full-on sensory experience in your mind.
Engaging all your senses.
Exactly. Sight, sound, touch, even smell.
Okay.
To create this vivid mental scene of the relationship you want.
So we've got living in the end, we've got visualization.
Yeah.
What other techniques do they mention for manifesting love, especially with this special someone in mind?
Well, there's one that specifically taps into the power of the subconscious mind.
Okay.
And that's the state akin to sleep, or assets.
Okay, a settee.
It sounds intriguing.
I've heard about it, but can you explain how it works?
It's about using the time just as you're drifting off to sleep to impress your subconscious mind with your desire.
Okay.
You're basically planting seeds in that, I don't know, fertile ground between wakefulness and sleep,
Okay.
you know?
Like a subliminal message you're sending to yourself.
Yes.
I remember reading about a guy named Tom who manifested a call from his long-distance love using assets.
Okay.
He'd imagine her calling, hearing her voice, feeling that connection,
Yeah.
and then fall asleep, holding that image in his mind.
Exactly.
It's like tapping into that liminal state where your subconscious is most receptive.
Yeah.
They also talk about affirmations, which we touched on earlier.
Yes.
But here, they're more focused on affirming the specific relationship you desire.
Right. So instead of just, I am worthy of love, it's more like, John and I are deeply in love. Or,
Yeah.
you know, whatever.
That's it.
Making it specific to your desired reality.
This is also fascinating. We've got living in the end, visualization, assets, and affirmations.
Yeah.
All pretty powerful stuff.
Yeah.
But I know what a lot of our listeners are wondering.
What's that?
Manifesting a specific person. Is that even possible?
Yeah.
Does it mess with free will? Stay tuned for part 2, where we'll dive deeper into specific person manifestation and explore how it aligns with free will.
Definitely a lot more to unpack here. We'll tackle those questions about free will, and we'll share some inspiring success stories
Ooh, success stories.
that illustrate these principles in action.
Can't wait.
See you in part 2.
See you then.
Bye.
Welcome back to our deep dive into manifesting love.
We left off talking about specific person manifestation.
Yeah.
And I know that's where things can get a little tricky.
Yeah, it definitely can.
It's definitely one of the most intriguing
Yeah.
and maybe even controversial aspects of this whole topic.
For sure.
And it's where all those questions about free will come up.
Yeah.
Do we really have the right to try and manifest someone else's feelings?
That's such a valid question.
Right.
And actually, all these sources address this head on.
Okay.
None of them are saying that you should try to manipulate someone
Right.
or control their feelings.
Yeah.
That's not what specific person manifestation is about.
Okay, so how do they explain it?
Yeah, because they're all pretty much on board with the idea that it's possible to attract a specific person into your life
Right.
using the law of assumption.
Yeah, it all comes back to this idea that our reality is a reflection of our own consciousness,
Okay.
like we were talking about before.
Okay.
We attract what we believe.
Right.
So with a specific person, it's not about trying to bend them to your will. It's about changing your assumptions about them
Okay.
and how they feel about you.
So remind me how that actually works.
Okay.
What's the connection between changing my beliefs and changing how someone else behaves toward me?
Yeah.
It still feels a little mind-boggling.
Yeah, it's kind of a mind trip, right?
Yeah.
Think of it this way. If you believe that someone is distant or uninterested,
Okay.
you're more likely to act in ways that reflect that.
So I'll be hesitant or insecure around them.
Exactly. And then they're going to respond to that energy.
Right. So if I shift my assumptions,
Yes.
if I start believing that they are interested, that they do feel a connection, I'll act differently. And they'll mirror that back.
It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one of the excerpts even describes it as like changing the channel on your inner radio.
Okay.
If you're tuned to the station of, they don't like me, you're going to keep hearing that song.
Right.
But if you switch to, we have a strong connection, that's the music that will start playing.
That is such a great analogy.
It is.
So it's less about controlling them and more about aligning yourself with the reality you desire.
Yes, precisely.
Okay. That makes a lot more sense.
Good.
But it still requires a huge leap of faith,
Yeah.
right? To believe that just by changing my thoughts, I can change how someone feels about me.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
But that's where those techniques we were talking about come in.
Oops.
Living in the end, visualization, essay tests. They're all tools that can help you embody that feeling of the wish fulfilled to bridge the gap between where you are now and where you want to be.
Okay.
And these sources, I mean, they offer so much encouragement and real life examples. They really want to emphasize that this is possible.
Right, because if I'm constantly thinking, he'll never like me back, or she's out of my league, I'm actually creating a block.
You are.
I'm not allowing that other reality to manifest.
Exactly. You're getting it.
Right.
And it's important to remember that it's a process.
Okay.
It's not just like, poof, magic, you know?
Right.
It takes time and consistent effort to really shift those deep-seated beliefs.
Okay.
And they also really emphasize the importance of detaching from the outcome.
So not getting all hung up on the how and when.
Right.
Just trusting that the universe is working behind the scenes to bring it into being.
Exactly. Surrendering control.
Oh, right.
Letting go of the need to micromanage everything.
Yeah.
And that's where the fun part comes in. The success stories.
Okay, hit me with those success stories.
Okay.
I need some inspiration.
Okay, well, there's this story about Sarah who wanted to reconnect with her ex-boyfriend, David.
Oh, yeah. She's the one who used living in the end to manifest a proposal.
That's her.
Okay.
And things were not good between them. They had broken up. There were misunderstandings, hurt feelings. David had made it clear he wasn't interested in getting back together.
Okay.
But Sarah really believed they were meant to be.
Okay.
So she started using Neville Goddard's techniques.
So even though things were rough, she was still imagining they were back together, happy and in love.
Exactly.
Wow.
She didn't just visualize it. She went all in, feeling the emotions, imagining conversations, even picturing them moving in together and starting a family.
She really committed to that vision.
She did.
But did it actually work?
It did. It wasn't overnight.
Okay.
But within a few months, David reached out to her out of the blue.
Look.
He apologized for his part in the breakup, admitted he'd been thinking about her a lot, and asked if they could try again.
No way.
And according to the source, they're now happily married.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
It's like she created a new reality for both of them just by shifting her own inner world.
It really is powerful stuff.
Do you have any other examples that illustrate this idea of changing your assumptions to change your reality?
Yeah, absolutely. There's another great story about Tom, who was head over heels for a woman named Lisa. They'd worked together, and he was convinced they had a special connection. But unfortunately, Lisa moved to another city, and they lost touch.
So he was feeling heartbroken and longing for her.
He was, but he wasn't ready to give up.
Okay.
He remembered reading about the state akin to sleep technique.
Oh, wait.
So he decided to give it a shot.
Okay.
Every night, as he was drifting off to sleep, he would imagine Lisa calling him, telling him how much she missed him.
Wow.
He'd even imagine hearing her voice, feeling her presence next to him.
He was basically imprinting that image and feeling onto his subconscious mind.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
And to make it even more potent, he also started using affirmations throughout the day.
Like what?
Like repeating things like, Lisa and I are meant to be, and we are deeply connected no matter the distance.
So he was really immersing himself in that feeling of being in a relationship with her, even though they were miles apart.
Exactly.
Does it work?
It did. Lisa called him out of the blue.
Wow.
She said she couldn't stop thinking about him and felt compelled to reach out.
That gives me goosebumps.
Yeah.
It shows that even when circumstances seem impossible, these techniques can really bridge the gap.
They can.
Is there another story?
There is. There's one more success story I want to share.
Okay.
Because it really highlights how crucial self-love is in the process.
Okay.
This one's about Emily, who had a history of attracting unhealthy relationships.
Okay.
She kept finding herself with partners who didn't treat her well.
Right.
And she finally realized that she needed to work on her own self-concept.
Okay.
Before she could manifest a healthy, loving relationship.
So she had to do some inner healing before she could attract the right kind of love.
Exactly.
Okay.
She started using affirmations to reprogram her beliefs about herself, repeating things like, I am worthy of love and respect.
Right.
And I attract partners who treat me with kindness.
Okay.
She also started visualizing herself in a happy, supportive relationship.
Right.
Really feeling what it would be like to be cherished and adored.
Wow. And did that shift in her self-concept lead to a shift in her reality?
It did. Within a year, she met Alex,
Okay.
who embodied all the qualities she'd been visualizing and affirming.
So he was kind, respectful, supportive.
Everything she had always desired.
That's amazing.
They hit it off immediately, built a relationship based on mutual love and respect,
Wow.
and they're now happily engaged.
That's so inspiring. It really emphasizes that sometimes the first step in manifesting love is loving ourselves.
It really is.
And that's such a powerful message.
Yeah.
But these are just a few examples, right?
Yeah, just a few.
I'm sure there are tons of people out there who are using these techniques to manifest love, both in general and with a specific person.
I think so.
Yeah, and that's what makes these sources so fascinating.
Yeah.
They offer a glimpse into the incredible power of the mind
Right.
and the potential we all have to create the reality we desire.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, it's not always easy.
No, it's not always easy.
There are challenges, there are setbacks,
Mhm.
times when those doubts creep in.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling those are all part of the process, too.
They are.
Join us for part 3 as we delve into those challenges, explore the role of intuition and discernment in manifesting love,
Yeah.
and share even more mind-blowing success stories.
More to come.
Can't wait. Welcome back to our deep dive. You know, we've talked a lot about the techniques for manifesting love,
We have.
especially with a specific person, and we've heard some pretty amazing success stories.
Some really inspiring ones.
But let's be real,
Yeah.
it's not always easy.
Not always.
You mentioned some challenges, and I'm curious to explore those a little more.
Yeah.
Because I know from personal experience, it's not always sunshine and roses when it comes to manifesting.
Right.
Especially when we're talking about love and relationships.
Absolutely. It's
Yeah.
not a magic wand.
Right.
And all of these sources acknowledge that there are going to be bumps along the way.
Okay, so what are some of the biggest challenges people face?
I think one of the biggest ones is just maintaining a positive mindset,
Yeah.
especially when those doubts and fears start creeping in.
Right, because it's so easy to get caught up in those thoughts like, what if it doesn't work? Or this will never happen.
Yeah, the what ifs and the this will nevers,
Exactly.
they can really sabotage your efforts.
So how do we deal with those negative thought patterns?
Well, these sources really emphasize the importance of recognizing those thoughts for what they are.
Okay.
They're just thoughts.
Okay.
They don't have to define your reality unless you give them power.
Okay.
One of the excerpts even compared negative thoughts to like clouds passing through the sky.
Okay.
They're there, but they don't have to control the weather.
So it's about acknowledging those negative thoughts,
Yeah.
but not letting them take over.
Yeah, not letting them rain on your parade. Gently redirecting your focus back to your desired reality.
Back to those positive affirmations.
Exactly. Reminding yourself of your affirmations, visualizing your desired outcome, and just trusting the process.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But what about those times when it seems like nothing's happening?
Right.
When you're putting in all this effort, using all the techniques, but you're not seeing any results?
Yeah, it can be really discouraging.
It's so discouraging.
Yeah.
How do we deal with that?
Well, these sources remind us that manifesting is a process.
Okay.
It's not an overnight transformation. It takes time, consistency, and patience.
So just because we don't see results immediately doesn't mean it's not working.
Exactly. They even use the analogy of planting a seed.
Okay.
You don't see the sprout right away,
Right.
but that doesn't mean it's not growing beneath the surface.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
So it's about trusting that something is happening even if we can't see it yet.
exactly. Trusting the unseen.
But how do we know if we're on the right track?
Yeah.
Like, how do we know if this is even the right desire to be pursuing?
That's a great question. And that's where intuition comes in,
Okay.
which these sources talk about a lot.
Yeah.
They really encourage you to check in with your gut feeling
Okay.
throughout the process.
So like asking myself, does this desire feel good? Does it feel aligned with my highest good?
Exactly. Ask yourself, does this feel expansive and joyful, or does it feel kind of constricted and fear-based?
So it's not just about getting what we think we want,
Right.
but making sure that our desires are actually in harmony with our overall well-being.
You got it. Sometimes what we think we want might not actually be the best thing for us.
Yeah.
And that's where intuition can be such a powerful guide.
Right. Like a little inner compass.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It can help us discern whether a desire is really coming from a place of love and alignment or from a place of lack or insecurity.
It's like that saying, be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
We have to be mindful of the energy behind our desires.
Absolutely. And if you're feeling any doubt or hesitation about manifesting a specific person, it's always wise to step back and just check in with yourself.
Okay.
Maybe it's a sign that you need to work on some deeper issues within yourself first. Or maybe it's a sign that this particular person isn't truly aligned with your highest good.
Right. Maybe there's someone even better out there.
Exactly.
But if it feels good, if it feels aligned and joyful,
then full steam ahead.
Full steam ahead.
Embrace those positive feelings.
Yes.
Use the techniques we've been talking about and trust the unfolding of your journey.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
And, speaking of journeys, I know you have a few more success stories that illustrate these principles.
I do.
Especially the importance of trusting your intuition.
Yes.
Lay them on me.
Okay, so one that really stood out to me was about a woman named Maria.
Okay.
Who had been single for a long time and was feeling really discouraged about finding love.
Like she'd tried everything and nothing was working.
Yeah, she had tried it all. Dating apps, going out with friends, blind dates set up by her family. Nothing seemed to be working.
So she was feeling pretty hopeless.
She was, but then she came across Neville Goddard's teachings and decided to give them a try.
Okay.
She started using affirmations, visualizing herself in a loving relationship, practicing the state akin to sleep technique, all the things we've talked about.
And did she have a specific person in mind?
She did. It was someone she'd gone on a few dates with a while back. But things hadn't really clicked.
Okay.
But she had convinced herself that he was the one. And she was determined to manifest him into her life.
So she put all her energy into manifesting this one guy. What happened?
Well, here's the interesting part. As she was doing the work, shifting her beliefs about love and worthiness, she started to realize that her feelings for this guy had actually faded.
Oh, wow. So the process of self-transformation actually changed her desires?
It did.
That's amazing.
She realized that she'd been holding on to this idea of him because she was afraid of being alone, not because he was truly aligned with what she wanted in a partner.
So she was clinging to a familiar feeling?
Yeah, I think so.
Even if it wasn't ultimately good for her?
Right, exactly. So she let go of that attachment and instead focused on manifesting the qualities she truly desired.
Like what?
Like kindness, respect, shared values, sense of humor, the things that really matter to her.
And what happened? Did she end up meeting someone new?
She did. Within a few months, she met someone completely new.
Wow.
Someone who embodied all those qualities she'd been visualizing and affirming.
So she got what she truly desired.
She did, and according to the source, they're now in a really loving, committed relationship.
That's a great story. It shows that sometimes the universe has something even better in store for us.
Yes.
Than what we initially think we want.
Absolutely. And it highlights the importance of, surrendering control.
Right.
Trusting our intuition and being open to possibilities.
I love that. Well, this has been an incredible deep dive.
It has.
Exploring the world of Neville Goddard, the law of assumption, and the power of manifesting love.
It's powerful stuff.
We've covered so much. From specific techniques to ethical considerations, the importance of self-love and the role of intuition.
And all those amazing success stories.
I know, those were so inspiring.
It's amazing what's possible when we align with our true desires.
And what I really take away from all of this is that it's not just about getting the guy or the girl.
Right.
It's about embracing a new way of being.
Yes.
One that's rooted in self-love, trust, and the understanding that we're all interconnected.
Beautifully said.
I hope our listeners feel inspired and empowered to apply these principles in their own lives.
Me too.
To step into their power as conscious creators and to manifest the love and happiness that they deserve.
Yes, and remember, as Neville Goddard said, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled.
Oh, good one.
Embrace that feeling of being loved, of being in a joyful, fulfilling relationship, and watch as your reality aligns with that vision.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep believing, and keep manifesting the love that is your birthright.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
If you're enjoying our podcast and the insights we share, you'll absolutely love our ebooks crafted to take your manifestation journey to the next level. These ebooks are your ultimate tools to manifest abundance, love, confidence, and prosperity. Whether you're looking to master your self-concept, unlock financial freedom, or design the life of your dreams, we've got you covered. Inside, you'll find step-by-step guides, practical exercises, and bonus tools like printable affirmation cards and daily habits to keep you aligned with your goals. Simple, actionable, and designed to fit into even the busiest lifestyle, These ebooks are your personal roadmap to success and happiness. Take the next step in your manifestation journey. Click the link, explore our ebooks, and start creating the life you deserve today.